Muévelo, muévelo. ¿Cómo lo haces? Ven a bailar.
Welcome back, Hood News peeps, to the Hood News Unfiltered. It's your girl Grizzy. I've got Hector here with me.
What's going on? It's Saturday. It's another week in H-Town.
Yes. Man, go get your snacks. Go get ready, man, because we have so much in store for you guys. All right, Hector. So we've got police chases. You know, that's not it's a everyday occurrence all day.
Thing.
Yes. Here we have Southeast Patrol. They are doing their big one on the Hood News on TV, and they are going after a minivan.
Yeah.
And if you look at the minivan, that door's been smashed into.
He went through quite some journey through there.
Yeah. We don't really know exactly what all happened, but this was a chopped and screwed because it was so slow. And, you know, we had to pay homage to DJ Screw through this video. Like, hey, this is the slowest speed chase we've ever seen.
Jose on Facebook says, Justia's out here being a baddie.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Then we have Ricardo saying, just getting police escort in case anything else falls off that Chrysler.
Then we have Jatricia Webb. She says, I'm rolling. Houston, stay having me laughing. Lord, I love my city.
But that wasn't the only police chase that happened this week. There was also this wild chase that happened up in Northside.
Oh, yes. The good old pit maneuver was in force here.
It was up by Big Mac.
Yeah, Aldine Jail Route, a.k.a. Aldine Mail Route. Man, so this guy was pit maneuvered. He was on a speed chase that lasted quite some time. Not even the good old mighty pit maneuver could stop this guy. Like, he was on the go.
It looks like he was on his rims, too, as well.
Yeah, he was riding on only 3 wheels.
It looks like quite a bit of police constables out there, chasing him down.
Yeah, Harris County Sheriff's Office was on the scene. And they were doing theirs, man. Look at him. There he goes.
Well, that's pretty some GTA stuff right there. Steven on Facebook says, welcome to the Houston 500.
Then Oscar says, hopefully that flat just gave a canine time to catch up for a bite.
Then Dennis says, right beside my old high school. Go MacArthur Generals.
Hey, shout out to the MacArthur Generals.
Well, Grizzy, people all around Houston, as we've seen, are driving wild and crazy. Look at this box truck. What's going on here?
Look, first of all, I do not trust box trucks. We've seen so many creepy, crazy box trucks in the city of Houston, and a lot of times they're used for bad stuff. In this situation, I don't know. It's one of those, we have more questions than answers.
Right.
This guy backs up into a vehicle that's parked, and it looks almost intentional. Look at that.
He keeps hitting the gas,
Yeah,
too.
The poor owner of the truck is trying to approach. He's kind of calm about it, too, if you ask me.
Yeah, thank God he wasn't behind the truck.
Yeah,
it could have gotten worse.
Yeah.
But he got a big, one thing we don't trust in Houston is big box trucks and spools.
Yeah, for real. Spools, we got to get some of those on the Hood News. Yes.
Make sure those need to be strapped in.
Yeah, those box trucks are something else. We've seen bandits take off, and this was a hit and run. Like, he hit it, quit it, and split it. I mean, he just left.
Oh, man, he took off quick, too, as well. He had to have known he hit that truck.
Of course, for sure. I'm surprised he didn't get whiplash because that was a big hit. He says, bon voyage, he's out of there.
And those windows are tinted good, too.
Yeah, we couldn't get no plates off this thing or nothing. So, yeah, hopefully, maybe they'll be identified through Hood News.
All right, so Angela on Facebook says, seems like everybody in Houston is a different breed these days. Something in the water making everyone lose their minds.
Oh, I know. This is our next public service announcement. Houston, we have a huge stray pet population. Millions of dogs running around our city.
Right.
Hector, it's bad.
Oh, it's really bad. As you see here on this video here, there's a pack of about 6 to 8 dogs out there on the loose. What part of town is this?
This is the north side, but it's all of Houston. This is similar. Like everywhere you go in Houston, you will see packs of dogs. It's so bad. The rescue groups are like at full capacity. The pounds are at full capacity. And every day dogs are on list to be euthanized. So like we really want to, let people know, hey, be more responsible pet owners. Take care of your dogs and cats.
Get them neutered.
Yeah, get them spayed and neutered. Don't get a dog as a gift because that's going to be a long time commitment. And if you're not ready for it, some people just like really let their dogs out like that, and it's just wild,
Yeah, these dogs are just roaming the streets and no telling what they're getting themselves into, and might be causing trouble for anybody else or other animals too as well that probably are on a leash or in a behind the gate too as well. So get control of these dogs. We don't want these dogs roaming wild here in the streets of Houston.
Somebody could get bit. We've already had elderly people get bitten by animals. So it's really crazy. The good thing about us having posted this situation with these like 12 to 13 dogs was that BART came out with the assistance of HPD, and they were able to take in 7 of those dogs. The other ones ran off. I think 7 to 8 dogs were captured, and they'll be evaluated, and hopefully we provided adoption numbers, so hopefully somebody will adopt them. So
right.
We're hoping. All right, here on the Hood News, we show a lot of dine and dashers, Hector. And one thing that we've noticed is people go in, get food, run out, and it's a continuous thing.
Trend, yeah.
In this situation, if you guys at home can see this video shows a young lady. She had 2 Subway sandwiches made. And when it was time to pay, she grabbed the sandwiches. They took off. However, the problem was when the employee, trying to get them to stop and, hey, come inside and pay.
Right.
She gets hit by this vehicle. It backs up into her. She's in the hospital. She was transported to the hospital with a broken leg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over a foot long.
Over a foot long. Seriously.
Last week we saw the issue with the chips.
Yes.
And this week now we're seeing issues with the foot long.
What we want to always tell people is to please don't chase after folks, man, because your safety is way more important. A sandwich can be replaced. You cannot.
That's right. Grizzy, this was over in center part of Houston, right?
Yes. Yes, it
South
was.
Shepherd, I think.
South Shepherd area.
South Shepherd. Any clues on what happened to this lady, or any clues on suspects?
No, we have not. Nobody's recognized her. So, I mean, she's... And what's troublesome in this video is that it looks like she's laughing like the entire time. Right? It's creepy.
She looks like... there's something going on there, but she's obviously laughing and enjoying, and she has a door open. So she has the door open, and then she goes into reverse.
Yes.
And runs over the poor Subway employee.
Somebody put their foot, and you can see that in the video. Somebody puts their foot, I'm assuming it's the victim, puts their foot in there maybe as a way to stop the car. Nah, she backed up and got out of there.
Yeah, she kind of giggles a bit, looks back, and then just hits the car in reverse and hits it and just takes off. Thank God the employee is okay. Have you heard any updates from the employee or anybody there from Subway?
No, she's okay. She sustained a non-life threatening injuries, but that's just that unnecessary experience, the pain. She's probably not walking well. Probably gonna be out of work too. Because I think they, she's gonna have to be out of work for a while until she gets better.
Yeah, and this sandwiches or whatever product or items or a material thing is definitely not worth it at all.
Not worth it.
And you're seeing that quite a bit, a big trend of people going,
people are
dine and dash.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of people chase after folks.
Yeah.
And so there's those dynamics. People are just up to here with, this kind of experience.
James from Facebook says, we need to be moving to a pay first society because people like this in everything, nails, haircuts, food, everything. No money equals no product or service.
For real. And then we've got Ricardo Camacho. He says, Houston is out of control. So many people make the same crimes without punishment. Hector, the other day we saw a video, which we had to take down. 4 aggravated robbers were pulled over, suspected aggravated robbers. And whatever the cops had on him, on them, it was enough to pull him over, detain them.
Right.
Well, they made that phone call. They have to call the district attorney's office. They were all let go. And it's that kind of craziness that we see sometimes.
The thing is, all that work that's being put in to get them behind the bars.
Yeah.
And then just for them to easily just walk out.
Yeah.
It's a cycle that's continuing, but it's also where, it's frustrating people who are law-abiding citizens who are just trying to make a living for their lives and look out for the kids. And it's almost like it's just lawlessness that's happening. And police officers are out there, just putting their lives on the line.
Yeah, it's scary. It's kind of scary, like times that we're in right now where it's like back in the day, like you did something bad, like you would pay for it.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, oh, we got to think about, maybe you paying for it, maybe not. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, and I remember like Harris County many years ago, used to be number one. I mean, like it was the county that people would fear to do crimes in.
Yeah.
Right, because the punishment was harsh here, and if it was number one for like the putting on the death sentence and stuff like that. Now I think that fear is gone in society, and so. But when things like that happen, when things like, for instance, the dine and dash, or if it's a situation where people feel like there's unfair treatment to society. you have the hood things like, or organizations like the Hood News that come to the rise, right?
Yeah, to show what's going on.
It's that voice of the people. It's gonna, so you know what, we'll find the judicial system through our ways and whatever we can possible.
Exactly.
So Grizzy, speaking of lawlessness, there was an incident that happened. There was a body that was found on Houston's east side. You went out, started reporting on the scene, broadcasted live. We had quite a couple of thousand people watching at the time.
Yes.
But the story also transpired where they actually had a variety of cameras and watch surveillance cameras that were able to catch some suspects. Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, this is amazing work by Houston Police Department. So last Monday we went out to, the weather was still kind of bad,
right,
but we were stepping back out into the streets, and a bunch of kids reached out to me, like the school kids. They're like, Grizzy, there's a deceased person on the street. Not in those words. They said, there's a dead body. And so I was like, what's going on? So I decided to go out there. And sure enough, East Side Patrol was on the scene where a man had been stabbed. Oh. And he was laying deceased on the street. So we went out there, got the few details that we could because it was all preliminary info.
Right.
The following day, HPD releases an image of a truck passing by, and they would like to speak to the individuals in the truck. Well, a few hours after I posted that information, because they were on it fast, a few hours afterwards, the victim's family reached out, and they told me, Grizzy, that was our loved one's truck.
Wow.
Help us, please put it out there to the peeps to please look for the people that were in the truck, because that was our loved one's truck. They took off with it. So whatever happened, we don't know the details.
Right.
But a few days after that, HPD releases these images that you guys can see on the screen. This was taken of the suspects.
And they're so young.
Yeah. And if you zoom into the passenger side of the victim's truck, that looks like the exact same outfit worn by one of the people of interest. So they're looking for these people. They would like to talk to them. Yeah. They were in the victim's truck. So hopefully we get a come on down. I hope that we can get these people identified for the family of the victim and for the victim himself.
Yeah.
Very traumatic for little kids also.
No, and I see now she's wearing that outfit, and it kind of matches what's right there on the passenger side. Uh-huh. It's interesting too. Like they're so young. He looks like he's also wearing some gloves.
Yeah, that was another. Was he injured? Sometimes people, when they commit these kind of crimes involving a knife, they sometimes cut themselves too. We were wondering if that was gauze in his hand. What is he holding on to in some of those pictures? Like, we know he's wearing gloves, and he looks straight at the camera. He's looking straight at the camera. So what was going on? I would love to know if this was before or after.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a red Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
Red Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was that's out and about, and obviously there's no. Have they recovered the car?
I haven't gotten word about that.
Wow.
So yeah, they most likely ditched it somewhere.
That's it's scary. Like I said, and it's somebody. They're just youngsters that are out here, and like again, you see these youngsters and. You don't know what they might be capable of doing, or what they're trying to do out there. Yeah. Or what their motivation.
We're starting to see a whole bunch of young suspects. Like they're getting younger and younger. Like it's very these people. I mean, 18, 19, 20, something like that. Maybe it's really sad, man. Somebody died. Unfortunately, somebody was harmed in with these people around.
Yeah, and it's no regard for life, no respect for life. That's that we're seeing. That's a lot that's out there. And again, if the judicial system, where there's not a harsh punishments for some of these crimes, they think it's just going to be a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
Grizzy, as we talk about every week, there is traffic and car accidents every day, nonstop. That's what is always happening here in Houston. So whether you're down on 45 South, 45 North, 59 in Parker, it's all over town. But if you ever find yourself in a car wreck, whether it's with an 18-wheeler or if it's a white box truck, we got an answer for you. We got an advocate that will fight for you, and that is the Hollingsworth Law Firm. Steve Hollingsworth and his firm will fight for you. You don't have to pay until you win. So Google them, Hollingsworth Law Firm, right here in Houston, proud sponsors of the Grizzy's Hood News. So Grizzy, every day and every week, you're getting constant notifications of missing people that are out, and you deal with this on a weekly and daily basis.
Yes.
But some of those missing cases are some of them are just stand out. You never go to peace, or some of them just never there's no updates on them, but there's
Yeah.
several that you actually do and you follow. And here's a case here that's, I guess, a young man here that went missing a couple of years back. What happened here?
Okay, so this is the story of AJ Silva, also known as Alexander Silva. He's been missing since April of 2021. This young man has still not been found, and there are several factors in this story that it's just like, what on earth is going on? So the young man that you guys see here in this screen, he was on a leg monitor. He hadn't been found guilty or anything.
Right.
He was charged with something, and he had pretrial conditions. So part of his conditions was that he had a curfew of 4 p.m. and he had to wear a leg monitor. Now, AJ was very compliant. Like he never faltered on his pretrial conditions. However, one day he did not come home. And nobody let his family know. Nobody checked on him. Some time had passed, and Easter rolled around, and AJ's family was like, where is he? So there's a lot of weird suspicion in the story. No one knows where AJ was. And so his family was like, okay, maybe the leg monitor. Why is no one looking for him as a wanted person or a fugitive, right? Because he had to report to somebody. And so many weeks passed by, and finally we had a missing persons report for him. However, the family fought for records to show the leg monitor information and location. And it showed that AJ's body or his person was in a field for almost 48 hours.
Wow.
I think 41 hours, something like that. And so this young man, when the family went to go look, he'd been already moved. Like somebody, or he walked away, they moved him. But I mean, to be laying in a field where they went to the exact same location, they went to those coordinates, and it was like next to a refrigeration company. This is the smoking gun. The family had to hire their own investigators, and they did their own DNA testing. And the DNA that was found in what appeared to be blood in the grass was AJ's DNA. So that is the smoking gun. Why is no one investigating this? It's just very strange. It also shows a lot of flaws with our system with the leg monitoring. Who's monitoring the leg monitors?
Right. What's the purpose of having it on if you're not really being tracked?
Yes.
Right. I mean, and then he goes missing for quite a while.
Till this day, nobody's found him. No, there's been some weird developments here and there. A car got sold that had a lot of blood in the back of it. Yeah, it's just a lot of allegations. A lot of stuff is out there, but we need people to actually investigate it, put it all together, and give this family answers.
And how old was he?
Let me see. I think he was 19 years old.
19-year-old young man there.
Yeah.
Full future ahead of him. He's out there missing. We just don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
But then he goes missing, but the family is the one that starts questioning about his whereabouts, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Nobody from, I guess, law enforcement.
No officer, probation or pretrial condition officer. Nobody was looking for him in that area of the law. You know, like the leg monitor part. Nobody was. Like, it just goes to show that you can cut it off and maybe nobody's going to look for you.
Wow.
But to this day, there's been no communication. I mean, he was in there for no serious charge. What happened to AJ? And there's a lot of people that know, but they're not speaking up.
Yep. And so you're in touch with the family. And what are they telling you as far as what's going on?
I've seen, shout out to Uncle Paul. You guys can follow him on Facebook. Uncle Paul, that's AJ's uncle. He has launched a campaign and constantly posting and helping other families who are in similar situations. We have gone in front of the Houston Police Department. We've gone out there. We've done protests. We've gone to the crime scene, so to say, where AJ was laid out. Apparently, there had been some sort of party or underground rave maybe in the woods, and that might be tied in. We also have a witness that saw AJ running from two armed men into the night. Like, people are very scared to come forward. And there's also an AA chapter, some little building, and there are reports that people from there witnessed AJ laying there.
So obviously that's all close by. You had the refrigeration company.
Yeah.
You have a possible rave that was close by.
Yeah.
Then also the AA building too as well. What part of town is this?
Northwest Houston.
Wow,
Yeah.
Northwest. And man, this is, this kid was, he was out there and he was abiding by the rules. He was trying to get, maybe hopefully getting things right in his life to whatever he brought him to that ankle monitor.
Yeah.
And just to go missing in thin air like that.
Yeah, just very crazy. This is a hood unsolved mystery.
Yeah, so if you have any information, please reach out to us at grizzy'shoodnews.com.
All right, Hector. We got a lot of drama these days with the U.S. Postal Service. Yeah, USPS. I don't know what's going on, but I had peeps reach out like, Grizzy, we are months behind on receiving packages, certified mail, several different things, even live animals. Like, that is a thing, like for people to ship animals through the mail. And we have people reaching out that they are tired, they're frustrated, waiting for stuff that's back since some people didn't even get Christmas gifts.
Oh my.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's on the news too, and we've covered a little bit about it. And somebody sent me some pictures, as you guys can see on the screen, of how backed up and how the mail is just sitting there.
Right. It's one thing, getting your package today is almost is risky.
Yeah.
Just get your package.
Yeah.
If it's not being thrown at your front door, right? That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Then if it's not getting stolen off your porch.
Bandits
right?
taking off with your mail.
And then the next thing is like if it's the Postal Service just letting it sit there in the warehouse.
Exactly.
And whatever happened to rain, sleet, or snow, they're going to be there. Well, I guess the system is kind of, there's a malfunction in their processing there in North Houston. But you were telling me that there was some animals too as well that's getting lost in this?
Yeah, we got a Hood News peep that reached out on Saturday morning. She was saying, Grizzy, I've got a bird that I had shipped from, she paid extra, and they do it humanely, apparently, like shipping out these animals. And there is a higher fee to ensure the safety of the animal. And it's in a good size crate. And unfortunately, she's not received her bird. She should have gotten it, I think, Thursday or Friday. It was Saturday. And I mean, it's showing that maybe by Tuesday she'll get it. I mean, with the way it's all backed up, it's really sad because that animal is put in danger.
Yeah.
And I hope it's getting fed, like water and food, but who knows?
Yeah, I hope that cockatoo is okay, but I'm not sure what type of bird it was. But I hope that bird's okay. But, if there's animals out in that facility, we got some issues.
Yeah, so there's a new processing plant in Missouri City, Texas, and they're putting, supposedly the backup is that they removed some equipment to put some in, and that's created the delay. Like, supposedly there are trailers full of mail all around the facility that still needs to be processed.
Wow.
So they shut down some valuable equipment without a backup plan.
Hopefully they get this fixed before the refund checks go out.
Yeah, it's a poo-poo show. So yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah, so we have more questions right now than answers.
For sure.
So just like we're talking about, Grizzy, is that, getting your mail or getting your packages is difficult, from USPS holding your packages at the warehouse, the packages getting thrown at your front door, porch bandits. And here we have some mail thieves that were actually taking some mail from, I think, looks like lock boxes or mailboxes somewhere around Sugarland.
We got Bonnie and Clyde 2024 making their debut on the Hood News. They have been caught, folks. So we had Sugarland PD. Shout out to them. They posted a post, like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. And they want, we accepted the challenge because so many Hood News peeps were tagging us. And so we posted, and boom, like just right away, hey, I know this person, I know this person. They were identified. If you want to find out who they are, go check out the Hood News on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. You'll find who they are. Well, it got taken one step further, and Precinct 4 constable deputies arrested them. Oh. With some sort of key, like a master key that was allowing them to get into all these different mailboxes. Wow. Yes. Man. So Bonnie and Clyde have been arrested. Their mugshots were posted everywhere, and they made their debut on the Hood News. Yeah, it's another Hood News case solved. The case closed. Yeah. It's good to see that. Jason on Facebook says, love seeing you all work together as I follow all three. A community working together to get thugs behind bars. I'm telling you, man, that's crazy stuff. And it was kind of hard, like to Like, are we going to get these people, or are we going to find out who they are? But the Hood News peeps always pull through.
Shout out to our peeps to help out
Yes.
and get these people off the streets and get their hands out of the mail. Again, we got so many other issues we got to worry about with our packages.
Like our mail literally has to defy all these different odds. Like it's a miracle if you get that tollway, that toll bill, or if you get your package.
They can
whatever
steal those.
Take my bills. Take my bills. Come and take my bills. Right. Yes.
No, but like now it makes me want to go check my mail every day. Did I get my mail today?
Yeah, with all this mail stuff that's happening at the processing centers, I go check now. I'm like, do I have mail? Yeah, it's wild stuff, man.
How many times you gotten the mail and you've seen it where it's halfway open or look like somebody's actually snooping into it? Right, I get that quite a bit, especially here at the office. We get that quite a bit where people are going through our mail.
That sucks.
So that's one thing. And sometimes we get checks or stuff like that, credit cards or in the mail.
That's scary stuff, man.
All right, friends, so that'll do it for this week's show. Until then, keep it locked in, keep it real. Log on to Grizzy'sHoodNews.com for more information every day and on Facebook. Grizzy, you got anything else to say?
Man, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Without you guys, this is not possible. We thank everybody. Stay tuned. More Hood News on the way.
And if it's real news,
it's Hood News.